today's video, 5 foods that are so healthy for your kidneys, they had to ban them. Gathering here, for many CKD patients, a better diet is all that it takes to go from kidney disease to freedom. We have learned exactly this in my last video from a case report featuring a 69-year-old man. This man suffered from diabetes, hypertension, and kidney disease. But he was able to overcome all these conditions. Yes, he doesn't have kidney disease anymore now. And all that happened when he started to eat all those superfoods he was previously forbidden from eating. Just like the 5 superfoods of today's video. Yes, there are 5 foods that are too healthy to be forgotten about or even banned. And yet, many CKD patients are still being told today to avoid them. Today, we are going to make sure you are not missing out on any of them. Because just like it did for this 69-year-old man, the results of adding these foods back to your diet will shock you. In his words, I could begin eating foods that I'd been depriving myself of for years because I thought they were unhealthy. By enjoying fresh, ripe fruits, I began feeling different almost immediately, and we had to decrease my insulin after 1 day. I mean, do I need to add anything else? So let's start with a superfood you were probably forbidden from eating for all of the wrong reasons. Number 5, bananas. Yeah, most CKD patients still go bananas today when you mention this fruit. Too high in potassium, they say, or too high in sugar. But are they right? Or are they missing out on a super healthy food just like the 69-year-old did? I mean, that man was able to gain all of his kidney function back right when he started to eat those fruits that were forbidden to him, just like bananas. So let's see why I'm telling you that bananas are extremely healthy for you. First reason why someone may have been told to avoid these fruits is their diabetes status, and that will be a mistake. You see, bananas, especially unripe ones, are full of resistant starch, and their GI is as low as 42. Adding resistant starch to your diet is linked to better glycemic status, says science. Green, unripe bananas in particular have been linked to a host of health benefits for people with diabetes and kidney disease. Okay, the other reason why someone may have been told to avoid bananas is their potassium content, which is high, but is that really a negative thing? Because we know today that the diet doesn't really cause high potassium levels in CKD patients. Medications, ARBs, and ACE inhibitors in particular are to be blamed for that. Now, this doesn't mean that if you have too high potassium levels, you should ignore the problem. No, you should talk to your doctor and work on a solution instead. And yeah, forbidding potassium-rich foods to everyone is finally a thing of the past now. And this is why bananas can be a very healthy part of your dinner or pre-bed snack. You see, bananas are not just great for those with diabetes. They can also help you sleep better. How, you may ask? Bananas are one of the few fruits known to be relatively rich in the nerve messenger serotonin, some of which your body converts to melatonin. Yeah, that's why many people love eating bananas so much. It's not the potassium, it's the serotonin. And a study was able to observe a more than 4-fold increase in melatonin blood levels within 2 hours of eating 2 bananas. So consider eating this fruit before bed because, well, a good night of sleep is incredibly healthy for your kidneys. And guys, if you think this info is useful, consider giving this video a like and sharing it with a friend. Up next, a berry with a tropical taste that contains a vitamin that actually fights kidney disease. Number 4. Golden berries. Golden berries are bursting with flavor. If you have never tried them, these berries may look like tomatoes, but they definitely don't taste like tomatoes. Imagine more of a mix between pineapple, mango, and, well, maybe a little bit of tomato as well. Originally from Peru and Ecuador, they now grow in hot regions worldwide. But the reason why I'm including this little known superfood in this video is not just its amazing taste. What makes golden berries special is their nutrient-rich profile. Golden berries are packed with antioxidants and immune-boosting phytochemicals. And there is one vitamin in golden berries that makes them a must for any renal diet: niacin. Niacin is a powerful form of vitamin B3 that's extremely beneficial for your kidneys. Recent studies have shown that for some CKD patients, adding more niacin to their regimen was all it took to reverse the decline of their GFR. Amazing! And the reason why this is possible is because a higher intake of niacin is linked to decreased phosphorus levels in kidney disease. Phosphorus is one of the most dangerous toxins for CKD patients, and having too much of it damages the kidneys and the heart faster than anything else. And while these amazing powerhouse berries are chock full of niacin, if you have CKD, well, you want even more of this vitamin. The good news is that niacin is also naturally found in many delicious foods like leafy greens, quinoa, muesli, wild rice, and corn on the cob. So adding these tasty options to your diet can support your kidney health while enjoying the burst of flavor from golden berries. Now guys, the next entry is another incredible source of a nutrient that's way too often too low in the renal diet. I'm talking about the yummy spread, a condiment you can use to add taste and nutrition to your recipes. Number 3 is tahini. Now, this is not a food you hear about a lot in health contexts, more in a culinary one. It is served by itself or as a major ingredient in hummus, baba ganoush, and more. And you see, I believe many CKD patients may have been forbidden from eating this super healthy spread for all of the wrong reasons, just like the 69-year-old man was. But what's so special about tahini, you may ask? You see, tahini is a paste made from toasted sesame seeds. And while this seed is rich in many nutrients and vitamins, including magnesium, vitamin E, zinc, manganese, and more, there is one nutrient in particular in sesame seeds that's both super hard to get in a renal diet and super healthy. I'm talking about calcium. Calcium is another common dietary deficiency in people with kidney problems, and it should never be underestimated. A deficiency in this mineral is linked by very solid data to a faster decline in kidney function. Now, the thing about calcium is that you mostly find it in dairy, which is very dangerous for your kidneys. And there are very few plant-based foods rich in calcium. Amaranth and teff, 2 gluten-free ancient grains, provide around 6% of the RDI per half-cooked cup, or 125 grams. And they are some of the best plant-based sources of calcium. Now, tahini is much better. To get the 6% of your RDI of calcium, you will only need to add 1 tablespoon of tahini to your diet. And that's also more than what you can get from the same amount of sesame seeds, the main ingredient of tahini, since grinding the seeds make calcium more bioavailable. Amazing, isn't it? And keep in mind that calcium is the main defense against both too high phosphorus levels and also oxalate. More about this in a moment. This is why most CKD patients are also being told to supplement calcium, but nutrients you get from foods are always healthier than supplements. In fact, tahini is really great because it also fights both high cholesterol levels and diabetes. Now, tahini also contains some protein, so moderation is advised. But it can be really healthy because, as I was saying, you only need a small amount to get significant benefits. Now, a little fun fact. Do you know why was tahini banned from the renal diet in the first place? For its content of phosphorus. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Tahini is so rich in calcium it can actually prevent phosphorus from being absorbed, but some people think they can't eat it because of the phosphorus. Number 2 now, some more foods that have been banned for a completely wrong reason. Number 2 are cruciferous veggies such as kale, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and more. These veggies are super healthy, especially if you have kidney disease. They are not just a great source of fiber and many healthy nutrients. Cruciferous vegetables also contain compounds called glucosinolates that give these dark green plants their bitter flavor. Research shows glucosinolates have strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, great to help the kidneys improve. In this list, you will also see some of the best sources of iron, calcium, magnesium, and more you can find in a renal diet. And these minerals are essential for you and super hard to get. Yes, cruciferous veggies are a must in a renal diet. But why are people avoiding these veggies then? Well, the reason is a recent wave of misinformation that's hitting the social medias. Looks like that all those keto influencers are now jumping on the bandwagon of the carnivore diet. And in doing so, they are also trying to convince people that vegetables are bad for them. So in order to justify their crazy fear of veggies, they have found a compound with super scary properties. I'm talking about oxalate. Yeah, the super evil plant compound oxalate that will punch you in the face. But why are these influencers so scared of oxalate? Well, main reason is because some people are starting to call this compound an anti-nutrient. It binds to calcium in the intestine, decreasing calcium absorption and possibly causing kidney crystal formations and stones. Now guys, it's true that there are some people that are sensitive to oxalate. Those with a history of kidney stones, for example, and some CKD patients with a water allowance may benefit from a low oxalate diet. But for everyone else, adding enough water and calcium at each meal is enough to completely neutralize any danger associated with oxalate. Because you see, what these influencers will never tell you is that up to 90% of the oxalate found in urine is produced by the body, alright? Yeah, it's not the food you eat, but the body itself that makes the oxalate that's in your kidneys. So yeah, all that fear-mongering for nothing.
These chemical compounds are called anti-nutrients, or they're also called plant toxins.
I mean, imagine having to appear on YouTube with barely any clothes on just to defend a theory that was debunked years ago. Okay guys, before I'll show you my number 1, a question. Are you eating the foods I've shown you today already? Is there anything you will add to your dietary regimen after watching this video? Let me know in comment section. Now guys, some people will tell you that you should not eat fruit, especially with diabetes. But we know today that avoiding fruit is an extremely poor lifestyle choice, especially with diabetes. Why, you may ask? Well, I want to circle back for a moment to the case report of the 69-year-old who improved his GFR at the point that most of his levels, creatinine included, went back to normal. Because the most noticeable improvement he obtained was on his fasting blood sugar, alright? In fact, after just 4 days, he had to reduce his insulin to 1/3 of what it previously was. which is incredible because he had been suffering from diabetes for more than 30 years before the intervention. This is all documented on a case report published on the British Medical Journal, by the way, which is considered one of the very best, most authoritative health journals in the world. So the way this man improved his kidney function was by following a diet in which almost every single plant-based whole food was encouraged. But there weren't many limitations or hard rules in this diet apart from one. There was one food that was compulsory and that he had to eat at least 2 times every single day. So what food is so healthy for diabetics that it was actually considered compulsory to consume in this kidney-saving diet? Our number 1 for today is clementine. Yes, as we can see here, the food he was told to eat at least 2 times as snacks every day is the clementine. But how come a food that actually contains sugar was compulsory to eat for this man in order to reverse his diabetic kidney disease? Well, the reason is, in my opinion, a flavonoid called nobalatin. You see, there is solid scientific literature to link the consumption of fruits containing the biotin to improved glycemic control and insulin resistance. Amazing! And if you want to know more about how this man is now completely free from kidney disease, watch my video about him. It's up here and also down in the description. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye!